All right, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be talking about quarterly theory and just how you could use it today in the market. So I'm charting MNQ right now, and the date is February 12th, 2025. So for this, I will be going over the New York mini cycle and as well as just like the larger 6 hour quarterly theory. So it's divided into the 6 hour, there's an AM and a PM, and then there's the New York mini, which is an hour and a half, and then 22-minute quarters. Obviously that sounds confusing, and I'll get into detail right now. Um, so I am Central Time, so the first quarter starts at 11. And it is an hour and a half long because if you divide 6 by 4, you get an hour and a half, 90 minutes. So they're 90-minute cycles. For me, if I'm trading the higher time frame, I don't ever want to trade in this quarter one. Actually, not even the higher time frame. The lower time frame, time is fractal. You should know that by now. So if I'm looking for a higher time frame play, I'm not going to be trading from 11 to 12:30. I'm going to let this play out and create liquidity and just accumulate and give me a high and a low. So for this, we can see a obvious high and a low. And the interesting part about this is that there is a low inside of a fair value gap that was respected in quarter one. This is something that you should always want to see in your trades. You should want to see a, but not for quarter one, but for quarter two. This is what this is called is ES came down here and took out this low, making it SMT. But more importantly, this was a soup. Any turtle soups that come in quarter two will increase your probability of a trade by a lot. Now, I personally trade inversions, so I wait to see that soup play out and disrespect a fair value gap, and that's my entry. You can also trade soups learning this model. So obviously you can see quarterly theory is divided into AMDX and XAMD. This is clear accumulation. We manipulate under the slow. We have a turtle soup. You can see this was the manipulation quarter, distribution, continuation. What's interesting is this one, um, the stock market's closed or for futures, the futures market. So it is, um, you can't see it all, but you can tell we did continue. Um, this was CPI, so we had this Newswick, and that was a good target. But as I said, time is fractal, so this also can go down to the lower time frame. So I'll get into a couple of these trades. Let me go to the 1 minute. So this is the first trade. We have a okay. This is weird. I don't know. Anyway, we so like I said, the quarter for the New York Mini starts at 9:30. Actually, this is all Central Time, by the way. This the New York Mini actually starts at 8 o'clock. But the interesting part of this, we just dumped, 1 million points. So we're gonna ignore the 8 to 9:30 Central. So again, we're gonna ignore that New York Mini, and we're gonna go to the 9:30 to the 11. Okay. So what did we see here? We saw price go up, create liquidity, and go down. Now, this could be used as the accumulation, but as we see quarter two, we do not see any signs of reversal. So therefore, I mark that as my accumulation high and my accumulation lows. Now, if I saw something like this, then this could have been the accumulation. But since this had no signs of reversal, I'm going to take this as my accumulation. Okay. Now, scaling in, we had some manipulation under this low, under this Q2 low. And what did we see? We saw the inversion. Okay, this would have been your entry. Stops under that. Break even at a swing high inside of a fair value gap. You can see, let me go in. You can see we kind of wicked under. Could have been like, oh, might get break even, but that's okay. You're just trading this model. And you can see, I would say, so to protect yourself from a Judas swing, I would take some profits off there, maybe 30%, maybe 40%. And I would let the run, and I would take majority off this buy side liquidity. And for a day like today, where you have a huge CPI wick, and what do we know? We know data wicks are a huge draw on liquidity. I'm gonna leave some runners. I'm gonna leave these runners and just see how they go. Stops at break even, And obviously you can tell, um, this would have been this quarter. Yeah, you would have, yeah, you would have, your runners would have hit this data wick. Obviously, this is hindsight. It's easier said than done, okay? But let's say, okay, I missed that move. Now we're gonna use the 11 to 12:30 Central Time. Okay, so what did we do? We chopped around. Notice how from 11:22, we chopped around. Okay, now what did we see in this quarter that we didn't see in the other one? We saw straight down. And notice another thing, a swing low inside of fair value gap. What did this do? This soup inversed. There's your entry. Break even at this high, or you could break even at this high. Say you really thought the setup was, loved it, you want to marry it. This is a rare one where you could put the break even here. Boom, scaling at this accumulated high, leaving your runners for the data wick. Obviously, here they would have been broke even, but you're also trading in quarter one of the 6 hour, so you have to understand that. Okay, so when 12:30 hits, you should know. Okay, I'm bullish, so this is the end of, or this is the low from that 6 hour accumulation. I know this is a lot, but so you should look for a manipulation under this swing low, okay, and therefore making that SMT, a smart money technique. Um, okay, anyway, so this is our quarter one. We have a range. We broke under that range. We we swept this low on ES. We had the inversion, and here's the break even. I actually this is wrong. This is where it inversed. So this isn't actually even a break even play. I thought it was. And these lows, it should be like right there. Yeah, that looks a lot better. I don't know why that was marked up wrong. Anyway, so yeah, you can see really did not do a good job at this. Yeah, here we go. Okay, you can see that there is this 1 minute fair value gap. You wait for it to close over. You've swept out this low, manipulated under, candle close above this 1 minute fair value gap. Now, would I like to see this? Yes, absolutely. I'd like to see this instantaneous BPR would be great, but this also could work. Okay. This closes over. You have your swing high inside of a fair value gap, right? Your break even at that. You can see the reaction distributes. I would say this is TP1. This is TP1 at these accumulated highs. This is your full TP. Not full TP. You still have the data wick. Okay. Obviously, this is just kind of a bad example because it took forever to run, and this is oops, a break-even play. Yep. But with this model, you can see that you're hitting this full TP, and yeah, you can have some runners for this data wick, but they don't need to hit because guess what? You're scaled out most at your scale here, you're scaled here. Okay. And that's just a couple examples. This happens every day on NQ. This is my exact model. Um, yeah, I'm if you're not incorporating time, to me, you're kind of pattern trading. I've caught myself, well, first I started with inversions and I've just noticed like, oh, why do they work better in the macro versus not? And this is actually like the why behind it and when to not be looking for a trade. So like between 12:30 and 12:52, I'm not looking for a trade because this is just creating liquidity. And yeah, this is actually, if you look, where am I? Yeah, look at this. This is a prime example of why you need to use time. Okay. Here's a 3 minute fair value gap. We candle closed above it. If you trade inversions, you're like, holy crap, right? We just swept out this low, right? Candle closed above. This is exactly what people will teach you when they're trading inversions is bam, there's actually equal highs here. Your eyes should be lighting up if you just trade inversions and don't use any time. But what is this doing is creating liquidity. And that's why that it's in quarter one, you should not be taking that trade. Even though pattern wise, yeah, it's A plus. Absolutely. You have your sweep. You're even reacting out of this fair value gap. You have equal highs, 3 minute inversion, BPR, bam, everything looks good, and it's just time. This will increase your win rate, at least it's increased mine, but it's just kind of like the why behind the trades. Obviously, you can tell, we have three great setups all happen today using a 1.5 hour quarterly theory, inversions, and just looking for total soups. So, that was it for today.